Hi guys, in this episode I'll be discussing about what is exactly a funded account or a prop firm account. How do you trade these prop desk or how do you trade for a prop desk or a funded account? How do you exactly get it? Whether it is legal to trade these funded accounts in India or not? What are the drawbacks behind these accounts? How do they help you in scaling up? What is the exact difference between a real account like we usually trade with our broker when compared to a funded account? What are the pairs involved in these funded accounts? Where can I try or demo it? And at the same time, what are the legit platforms which help you to do so? So let's try to understand what exactly is a funded account. Now, to the ones who do not know how exactly and what is a funded account, it is more important rather than just going and buying and just by looking at your friend who's received a payout, just by going to them and simply purchasing an account without knowing and understanding anything. It's very important that you understand what exactly is a funded account. Now, when it comes to a funded account, it is basically an account which you buy for a certain amount depending upon what is the amount which you need. So for example, if you need $10,000, okay, and if you need a funded account, so for $10,000 you basically, depending upon the firm to firm, you might have to pay $50 for that. Remember, you need to have a credit card because they do not accept debit cards, and you need to basically internationally transfer your money. So for that you just need an international card, and in order to get that you need a credit card, or a credit card which is basically allowing you to do international transactions first. Secondly, what exactly or how exactly does it operate? So once you purchase that $50, by paying that $50 or $60, you get that $10,000 account. So when I convert it to basically the INR, it sums up to somewhere around 8 lakhs to 8.5 lakhs. Okay, so you get 8 to 8.5 lakhs to trade. Okay, but you do not just get that to trade the way you want, and if you blow up, then that's not an issue. It is kind of a demo account. Okay, but at the same time it can help you, give or basically help you out of the payout as well. Okay, I'll come to the payout part later. I'll try to first make you understand what is exactly funded account. So when it comes to that, once you purchase that account, you get some credentials, you download MT4 or MT5 or MetaTrader 4 or 5. You give those credentials over there depending upon your broker, and you log in. That is how you get your credentials and you open up a funded account. These funded accounts are basically funded with a certain amount, and they charge you a certain amount. On top of that, you basically need to clear two phases which is involved inside that. The first phase, they basically ask you to make $1,000 if you have a $10,000 account. So basically you need to make 10% by risking 8%. Your daily drawdown limit on that account is 5%, and your total drawdown limit on that account is 10%. You might get asked to either make 10% depending upon the prop firm, or you might get asked to make 8% on a total of $10,000. So you basically need to make $800 in a month, or I mean the time or the period is indefinite. However, you need to make 8% by risking 10% on a monthly or whatever basis you want. That happens to be the first phase. The moment you clear that first phase, you get to the second phase, and the moment you get on to the second phase, in that second phase you basically need to risk 5% again daily. That is the drawdown limit. Your total drawdown limit over here is again 10%, but over here, the trick is that you just need to make 5%. So in the first phase you had to make 8 or 10%. Sorry, in the first phase you just had to make 8 or 10% of the total capital. In the second phase you just need to make 5%. Once you do that, you've cleared the second stage, and you get a certificate for clearing both of the phases. Once you are through that, you basically get to the real funded account. And once you get the real funded account, it helps you not only in scaling up the money which you need, but in also giving you good profits. Only go for a funded account when you are consistently profitable in whether the Indian market, the crypto market, or whichever market you trade. So now let's try to understand what happens after you clear those two phases. Once you clear those two phases of a funded account, you basically get a live account according to them. $10,000 account where you make whatever amount you want. So for instance, you just make $200 and not $500 or $800 like you were doing it in the first phase. The moment you make that $200, 80%, 85%, 90%, depending upon the prop firm again, is your profit split. Out of that, you also get the refund of the fees which you had paid in order to get that account. So, in a nutshell, you're getting back your $50 or $60 which you had paid to get a funded account. In the second part, when you purchase that account and when you cleared those two phases, you just got the amount of money which you had made. So, for example, if you had made or if you make $200 out of the last live account which you've received after clearing two phases, you'll get 80% of that. 80% of $200 is basically $160. So you are getting $160 along with the $50 refund which you had paid to get the funded account. And that is how you start receiving those payouts. How do you receive a payout? It is done through an international bank transfer. People usually prefer crypto inside this, so you can either receive it by crypto or by a bank transfer. That's all about how a funded account works. Now, coming back to the second point, which happens to be why should I trade a funded account? Now, I see a lot of people basically saying this. I do not know whether they personally are or not, but they usually say that I am a very good trader. I lack capital. I do not have much capital. You guys see my win rate is so much. I am winning this much. I am winning that much on a capital of 50K or $10,000. I'm making so much returns. However, I'm still not able to scale up because I lack that capital. If I had more capital, or I wish I had more capital so that I could make better and more gains. If you are a person like that who is consistently profitable, and if capital is an issue, I think you can surely go up with a funded account depending upon whether you find it right or not. This is my personal perspective, and at the same time, you guys can take your own decisions and you are free to do so. This is just gonna act you as an assistance in getting one. So why should you trade a funded account? Like I said, if you lack capital and if you need more real capital in your broker account, then you can go for a funded account, and maybe you can try to scale up the capital for your own personal account, not for your funded account. So you're trading funded accounts in order to scale up your account. So for example, if you get a $50,000 account, once you clear both of the two phases, and once you are through that, once you've got a live account, if you make $10,000 out of that account, and if you have got a split of 80 to 85%, imagine you are just getting $8,500 in a single payout. Once you get that, you can simply fund your own account or your own broker account. This will not only help you scale up your capital in the long run, but will also help you manage your expenses. It really sounds very easy and very pleasing, but at the same time it has a lot of drawbacks behind it. With this, I'll be coming down to the third point. Just remember, if everything sounds good, there is something corny or fishy behind that. The drawbacks behind trading a funded account is, this is the real data which I'll be talking about. Out of the 100%, let's consider there are 100 people who's purchased this account. There's only 1 or 2% who will be receiving a payout. 98% of the ones who bought a funded account will either lose up their account by either breaching out the rules which they have or which the funded prop firm has, or else they might just blow up the account, maybe by not allocating the capital in the right way because they've not seen or dealt with so much capital. The first reason is this. The second reason is they just do it for fun and they do not take it seriously, because if you're a prop firm trader, you need to be very disciplined, psychologically correct. I mean, with correct, I might just not say that you are wrong and this is right, but psychologically strong, I would say. Emotionally, they shouldn't have any barriers in their trading, and the risk to reward should be very good. So, if you are a good risk manager when it comes to trading, and at the same time, if you can, handle things in the right way by trading these volatile pairs, then I think a funded account is completely fair enough to go ahead and try to scale up your account. So, the drawbacks, you might lose that account very soon. $50 gone, and in that way you might just keep on purchasing accounts, and this might just on a total help you lead down or come down to somewhere around $10,000 or $5,000 if you have purchased that number of accounts, with the fact that I'll just scale up one day. Do not just rigorously go and purchase those accounts. Understand, look at yourself, understand what are you capable of, and then try getting into this. My fourth point is whether can you trade it in India or not. You are allowed to do that. Okay. There are some restricted zones where you cannot trade a funded account. When it comes to India, it's quite good that we are able to trade it in India. You do not have any laws against it, or any government or the government prohibiting that. So it's really good that we are able to trade that in India. With the fact forex is not legal in India. Okay. So there is, or this happens to be a scenario that you are just trading with a prop firm, and when you'll be receiving a payout, if you do it through a bank transfer, the company is going to be someone else. So maybe you can consult this out with your tax consultant, and try to show this in the books that you are basically working for a company and the company is paying you out, so there is no direct linkage with the broker. My fifth point is what are the pairs which is involved in funded accounts. So these pairs are basically all of the forex pairs. Some prop firms do offer you US equities or US stocks as well. There are commodities. Okay, so you see gold, you see the crude oil, you see silver. There are crypto pairs. And once you've been through the forex, the commodities, the crypto pairs, and the US indices, they basically cover up all of the market facts and all of the market pairs. So depending upon what are you comfortable with, you can choose any one amongst those. The sixth point is very important. Fine, I understood all of these points, but where can I try or demo it? I've got two open. Okay, you have a lot of accounts, but I prefer Funded Next, and Funded Next is a really good platform. Personally, I have used it as well once, and I find the slippage to be very nice. There is no, there's not like a big slippage. There is no commission as well. The commission is very minimal, and you guys will be able to handle it. And if you guys just want to try this out, and if you guys are maybe want to take a decision after trying this out, at least without paying anything, then I would seriously suggest you guys, even if you guys are interested in trading funded accounts, my suggestion would be that you guys go up for a competition account and you guys just register for it. Once you register for it, you guys will get a free account with the free credentials. So every competition account is basically a demo account, and over here if you trade well, you can win prizes as well. So everything is just like cherry on the cake. So do not miss this opportunity of trading a funded account being a competition account. This will not only help you understand how exactly things work, but this will also make you understand how exactly the volatile, how exactly volatile the market is. How exactly do you treat volatility, and at the same time how can you trade these pairs by risking as less as possible. So you can go with Funded Next, you can go with funding pips, and you can even go with TFT or the funded trader. Coming back to the legit platforms worldwide, I would again suggest that you guys go with Funded Next and funding pips. According to me, these platforms are safe till date. Okay, they might not be safe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, but depending upon the Trustpilot reviews, I have come down to these two. Why? Because the slippage is less as well. Compared to TFT, they have a huge slippage. I have used TFT as well. I did not like TFT. My account is still active in TFT, but I do not like trading much over there. This is my own personal opinion, while you might like TFT. So yeah, that differs from a person to person. In a nutshell, this is how exactly a funded account or a prop firm works. Make sure that you guys understand before paying up dollars behind this. Do not rush for this. Give it time. Understand your mechanism. Find your setup. Have some time. If you think that you are still eligible to buy a funded account, you are consistently profitable, I would request all of you to go and simply buy a competition account which is going to be free. I just don't want you guys to blow up money for no reason. So you guys can simply go opt for a competition account, get some hands over it, understand the process, and then maybe go for a funded account if you are profitable. However, try to understand one thing: your competition account and your real account is going to be hell different. Why? In a competition account you might just not be bothered because that is not your real money. The fact is this: But the moment you purchase a real account, your emotions are gonna play up a huge roller coaster. So to avoid that roller coaster emotion, treat your competition account like a real account. Have a journal for that. Take trades only when you find A plus setups, and do not just randomly initiate trades from a scalp perspective. When you are a swinger or when you are a scalper, you are just taking up swings for no reason. Avoid trading the news. This might also not help you along with the trading journey. Try to understand these factors, try to factor in these factors, and then maybe opt for a funded account. This is it for today's update. I'll see you guys in the next funded video if I post any, and if I come through a good content. I hope you guys like it. Do like and subscribe to my channel. So yeah, that's it.